Personally, like lessons that I've learned in my life, my children, when I have them, I'm not gonna make them have to pay. Like if they're in education, I'm not gonna like until they go university. I'm gonna be like, you don't have to work, you know. But yeah, my family that was the case. You gotta make the money, and because my oldest sister, she wasn't doing anything, but she was on like benefits and so she was giving my nan money, and that's when, you know, my older sister was like, oh well, I'm giving you money, so how come Darren's not giving you money?
Right, yeah.
You know, and that's when them kind of problems happened. But yeah, it kind of all came into like a toll when basically during that period of time when I was having to do the crazy journeys to school and stuff, my nan was like getting on to, not just my nan, but my older sister, like they were just really, really, really getting on to me, to the point where I would like call my lecturer or my tutor and be like, can you tell, so for example, on this occasion, just a normal day, was going into college, but the bus, there was like something going on like further down the road for the bus to stop. So bus stopped and I was sitting there thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna be late. And for some reason, this teacher, even if you're 5 minutes late, you're not getting in the class. So I was like, oh, like there's no point in me doing this 3-hour journey if she's just gonna turn me away. So I went back home, and when I got in, my sister was like, oh, what are you doing back? And I was just like, oh, like I'm not gonna be able to get in time. Went in my room, my nan came back because she did breakfast club and stuff like that. She came back, and my sister told her, and like they got onto me. Like, you know, my nan was saying like, you know, you should have walked it, and
just putting it on you.
Yeah, just stupid things like that, you know. And then my uncle came in, like when I tell you, they were shouting at me, like, you know. And we lived in a bungalow, so it's not like I can shut my door and like I'm hearing like all the stuff. So I was stressing so much that I called my tutor and I told her like, can you tell my nan and family like this teacher doesn't allow people in after the time? So she was like, yeah, cool. So as my nan's on the phone with her, and my tutor's telling her like, oh, it's completely fine, like my uncle and my older sister are like grilling me and stuff like that. And then my nan's talking, puts down the phone, and then she starts grilling me as well, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was difficult, and it got to a point where the family like dynamics and stuff was so bad that you know,
you're just singled out totally, you feel like.
During that period of time, yeah, absolutely. It got, you know, like my sister would say things. So for example, this is the night where so I got like depression and anxiety, not now, but like then. And this was the night when like I clearly remember it kicking off. So it must have happened. And my sister said she messaged my mom on Facebook. I don't know if she did, but she said that she messaged my mom on Facebook. And she said, oh, Darren's being like really bad, disrespectful, And my mom messaged her back saying, oh, like, what an ungrateful little, like...
shit.
Yeah, like, piece of shit he is. And, like, when, like, I heard her saying that to my nan, because, you know, I could hear everything, innit?
Oh, man.
That's when I was thinking, like, what is this? Like, you know, like, I'm actually trying, you know? Like, so I walked out the house, and whilst I was walking down the road, that's when, like, literally an explosion of, like, memories and, you know, things just started to come back to me, because from, like, year 7 till then, although I remembered what happened, it never came into my mind.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, like, if I said, like, don't think about elephants, you think about elephants, innit? So, like, that was the same thing, like it just wouldn't leave my mind.
You suppressed it it's there, you know it's there, but you leave it, but then everything just comes to the surface.
Exactly. So, like, it felt like an explosion of just all memories, and I just started to remember, like, you know, so I've seen, like, for example, like, my mum, do the whole injection stuff, but then the needle dislodge and go into her vein, and then she would have to go hospital, all that kind of bull. So
and that all came back to you, or stuff like that?
All that kind of stuff. So at this point, like, I felt like really, really numb. Like, when people say, like, when you're depressed, like, you feel numb, I know what they mean. Like, you actually feel numb. So for weeks and weeks after, you know, going back home, having anxiety and depression, and hearing like the constant just BS that was being spoken, I became numb to it. But then it came to a toll when one day, like, I was like, fuck this, like, you know. So I wrote a note, you know, the whole note, whatever, and I went to a train station, and I was like, I saw like the you know, like the billboard where it says like train arriving in 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah. So I got there, and I saw a train saying like arriving in 8 minutes, and like as the time's going down, I was just thinking, okay, this is it, because I was ready to like jump in front of the train, right?
Fuck, you're not gonna get on it. You're gonna jump in front of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I wrote like the whole suicide note, all that, and this is why I say I got lucky in it. So wrote the whole note, and as the time's going down, I'm starting to feel like a bit of like inner peace. So at first, like, you know, tears coming out my eyes and stuff, but then as it gets down to like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is it. And then on like 2 minutes, one of my friends from my college came, and just like that, like, imagine, like, I went on like an off-peak time, because I knew like I didn't want my people from college or anybody that I knew. But it just so happened that she missed the lesson that we was both supposed to be in, and she came at like 11 or something like that it was. And yeah, man, so she had no idea, you know what I'm saying? So she just came, and I was back to normal, innit? I was like just talking to her like...
So between everything that had happened in the house and everybody kind of turning in on you and making you feel like, even you're trying, and they probably don't realise what it is you're doing, how much your heart is hurting, what you're trying to achieve by working, and then you finally leave that situation, and then all of this bubbles up, and you have then this kind of intense realization of everything that's come before to this point, to the point where you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna and then looking at the minutes coming down, and you've made this decision, you're gonna do it, and as the minutes are coming down, you're almost literally, you're going through your life.
I'm like finding that like inner peace. I'm like, this is it, okay. Like, I didn't feel numb at that point. I felt like I'm good. Like, honestly, in my head I was thinking like, this is it, like, this is a good thing that's happening right now. But yeah, man, luckily, like, my friend just appeared.
So she turns up and was like, hey Darren, and then you kind of like, what?
Yeah, literally. Then it was like, okay, let's jump on the train and go college. I didn't even have my bag.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So is that moment pivotal in how you then dealt with your nan and that whole situation? Did you make some kind of peace in yourself, or what led on from there?
To be honest, it was the exact same stuff, right? So they didn't even know, of course, they didn't know that I had planned, I went to go do that. So the arguments and shouting continued for like weeks and weeks and weeks. The only thing that like stopped that really was I picked up a little job. So I was able to bring some money into the house, right? So I was doing like, at like 17, I was doing like some cleaning security, which was like 2-3 days a week in the night. So yeah, that kind of like stabilized the situation, because I was able to give my nan a bit of money. So yeah, things went back to normal.